You must carry on, I beg you!
I'm making... I'm out of breath.
I'm no dead here. Suzanne, just a bit more. We're almost there.
The automats ravaged the church and slaughtered the faithful.
back.
It's going to be all right. This machine is alone and the door is barricaded.
It won't hold. Did you see how easily those humans entered the church?
I am getting closer to Les Invalides. Here, I should be able to cross the moat easily.
debt was no longer sustainable, Your Majesty. Your mechanical revolution has changed the face of the kingdom, but the coffers are woefully empty.
The debt, Monsieur Necker. This debt that you and your banking friends helped to create for your own benefit, and which is now forcing us to levy new taxes? Will my subjects be able to bear another tax?
Yes, Your Majesty, as long as it is distributed fairly. The representatives of the nobility, the clergy, and the Third Estate must come to an agreement. That is why we have convened the Estates General. Tomorrow you are to preside over the opening ceremonies.
Your Estates General. Nothing good can come of it. You have roused the spirit of rebellion. All I hear about are their damned cahiers de doléances. My rightful enjoyment is being challenged. The streets of Versailles are teeming with loudmouth fanatics with sacrilegious thoughts. Tell me, Monsieur le Ministre, have you purposely set this army of the unwashed against me?
Your Majesty, I have always been your most faithful servant.
Beware, Necker. Beware. I have a surprise in store for anyone who dares attack my throne.
Suzanne, my dear Suzanne, take my hand, please. Don't let them take me away. No. Oh, no, this has to stop. I don't want to be tormented anymore.
That is not my intention. I have come to rescue you.
Rescue me? But what on earth are you?
It is of no importance. What did you see and hear before you regained consciousness?
I had frightful visions, rageful wraiths filled with pain and sorrow. And it was cold enough to curdle the blood. Oh, it's impossible to describe. All the rage and anger, I was in another body, I think. So big, so powerful. And there was this commanding voice, ordering me to spread terror and death. Did I really hear it? Or did I momentarily lose my mind?
Who are you, monsieur?
Don't you know? I'm Jacques Necker, Ministre des Finances. Well, I was before I was captured. But this situation suggests that the king has decided to dismiss me from his service.
What does he accuse you of?
My alleged connivance with the Third Estate, no doubt. And, most of all, for having been the first to ask to convene the Estates General.
How and when were you captured?
When the machines attacked, my wife and I fled our home to hide not far from there, in the Église Sainte-Marie. But we didn't stand a chance against the machines. They overran the nave, wantonly mowing down the faithful. My wife, my poor wife, she wasn't able to escape. I'm sadly convinced of this. As for me, my life was spared only so I could be tormented. What is the meaning of all this?
How and when were you captured?
When the machines to hide, not that we didn't stay over my wife. As for me, what is the...
What will you do now?
There is no future for me in this kingdom. I need to find a safe place where I can prepare for my departure as soon as possible.
I will take you to the Cordelier convent. You will be safe there.
À la bonne heure, she's back.
Aegis, what a joy and relief to see you again.
Monsieur,
Welcome to our stronghold. I'm sure that everyone here is aware of the great debt we all owe you. As you can see, the most exhausted among us are growing stronger.
While the most determined are already planning our counterattack.
I did not expect to see you all together.
4 days ago, the representatives of the Third Estate gathered in a tennis court. They swore not to separate until they'd established a constitution for the nation. But that was not the only oath we swore. All the honorable men who were at Versailles, representatives and patriots, members of the Club Breton, secretly swore to meet here if they were dispersed.
You, Aegis, have allowed them to gather once again. Though unfortunately many are missing, we still have hope.
Why did you choose to meet in this convent?
It was my idea. Voyez-vous, I stay here whenever my obligations bring me to Paris. No other retreat inspires such peace and contemplation. Et puis, truth be told, this building has always felt like a fortress to me. Just look at how thick these walls are.
For 2 whole days, the patriots in the quarter consolidated the outer walls to make it an impenetrable citadel. No automat has broken through our defenses yet.
Where are the monks, mon père?
They are secluded in their quarters, praying for the salvation of the people of Paris. However, we bear no illusions. We are weak, we are divided.
And we are unarmed. Without you, without your warrior strength, we have no chance of turning things around.
You are sent by heaven above, Aegis. From now on, you may consider the Cordelia convent your headquarters and a welcome refuge.
We must speak, you and I, in private, if you please. Monsieur de Lafayette must not hear a word of what I'm about to tell you.
What do you mean? You all seem to be certain that I will use my strengths to serve your cause. Are you forgetting that I have a task to accomplish?
Not at all, madame. We all know and support your plan to free Monsieur de Vaucanson. That is why I've taken the time to think of a way for you to get to the Bastille.
I am listening.
There is a patriot in Paris whose pamphlets have aroused Monsieur de Lafayette's ire. His anger is so strong that the poor man had to disappear to escape arrest. I know that he is secretly hiding in the quarries in Montmartre. A labyrinth he is said to know like the back of his hand. If anyone can help you navigate the obstacles that keep you from the Bastille, it is the elusive Monsieur Marat.
Very well. I will go and find him. Monsieur Necker.
I owe you my life, madame. So I am embarrassed to ask you for anything more.
Do not fear. You have my full attention.
Suzanne, my beloved wife. I cannot bring myself to accept her death. Despite all the evidence, I still hope to see her alive again. I need to be sure. Mon Dieu. What have I done to deserve such a fate? Why is the king sworn to destroy me? And all that I hold dear. After everything I've done for him. My abnegation.
Why would the king owe you anything?
I dedicated my life to the kingdom as his minister. Oh, my life and my fortune as well. I refuse to accept any remuneration for my services in order to keep the accounts balanced. And I personally filled the king's coffers with 2.5 million livres from my own private accounts. Bonds in the Caisse d'Escompte, which the king keeps in a tailor-made armoire d'affaires in the Palais des Tuileries. He stores all his secrets there. I'd wager there's enough in there to sully his reputation 100 times over. You must retrieve these bonds post-haste, madame. They must not be used to allow this madman to build more murderous automats.
Do I have any chance of opening it?
Don't even think about it, madame. Despite your incredible strength, that safe is said to be impenetrable. It was designed precisely to that effect. I personally never had access to it. I suppose that its contents were too unofficial for the honest minister that I always was.
Who has the key?
The king does, that's for sure.
Anyone else?
How could I know? His shadow advisors, most likely. Now that I think about it, there's a rumor that has been going around Versailles for a while now. It's said that Monsieur de Mirabeau used to come and go as he pleased at the Tuileries, that he oversaw diplomatic missions for the crown, not in any official capacity, of course. Who knows? He might know more about this matter than I do.
I will ask him. I will look into what happened to your wife.
Bless you, madame.
Where should I start my investigation?
In the Faubourg Saint-Germain, east of Les Invalides, we were separated in the Église Sainte-Marie, on Route de Bourgogne.
I shall be off.
You are the only hope of seeing my beloved wife again, and of foiling the plans of the clockwork tyrant.
Monsieur Necker.
Madame. Eh bien, do you come bearing good news?
I'm not done investigating yet.
Don't give up, I beg you. Remember, the last time I saw my wife, we were in the Église Sainte-Marie on Rue de Bourgogne. That's in the Faubourg Saint-Germain, east of Les Invalides. As for the bonds, you'll find them in the armoire d'affaires in the Palais des Tuileries.
Hey, Jesus. A word, s'il vous plaît.
Monsieur Raymond.
Ages. We are very pleased to see you again. It was very unwise of us to leave the Société without such a capable bodyguard as yourself. It is a miracle that we got here safely.
What is the aim of this organization?
We publish articles and exert our influence on those who are in a position to improve the lot of our unfortunate brethren. Our numbers grow by the day, and we have many illustrious members, such as the Comte de Mirabeau and the Marquis de Lafayette. But it was Monsieur Brissot and the abbot that founded the group.
Good old Brissot. Shouldn't he be here by now?
Yes, mon père. He should have arrived hours ago. Alas, there's been no sign of him.
I hope to God no misfortune should befall him.
What fate does the kingdom reserve for those with black skin?
According to tradition, any enslaved person who sets foot on French soil is free.
This rule is most problematic in the eyes of plants and the colonists who would seek to maintain their precious labour force.
This is why, for the past 12 years, no black people have been allowed to disembark on any of the kingdom's ports. Those who accompany their masters on the journey are imprisoned in the Admiralty jails the moment they leave the ship. As for those who manage to evade the authorities, they live in fear of the raids carried out by the Marshalsea.
Are you no subject to these laws, Monsieur Raymond?
I am fortunate enough to have been born subject to the king through my father, and also have received an education, and to be well wealthy.
Naturally, that makes all the difference.
You are quite a long way from home, Monsieur Raymond.
I have been back to Andaman nearly 5 years. I left my trusted men in charge of overseeing my medical plantation. I came to France with the aim of having audience with the king. I hoped to convince him to use his autonomous for agricultural work. I was believed that this was the best way to ease the suffering of our enslaved brethren. Alas, it was also not. I was only able to get audience with the Minister of the Navy, and even that was granted reluctantly. Later, when the king convened the States General, my hopes were renewed. I saw it as an opportunity to make our voice heard. And then, Monsieur was a disaster, ages. What a complete disaster.
What do you want to talk to me about?
Have you ever heard of the Messiac ages?
No, Monsieur.
It's an association that sets up the Hotel de Messiac, just west of Hell. It counts some of the worst plantations in the Empire. Those from Saint-Amand and the Petit are most formidable adversaries. They always ignore and influence to keep slave trade going, and resort to violent methods to achieve their ends. They worship nothing but money. Maybe reason that's only by their cruelty. Regrettably, my interests occasionally required me to start a company. 2 months ago, I was allowed to settle in business with the Admiralty when I overheard a conversation between two partners and there. If they are to be relieved, the club of the Messiac is not to recreate sleepless slaves. It is a for me. Those were the exact words. It's hard to say what could possibly mean, but I fear that I'm trying to administer foul drugs to the slaves who are forced to toil day and night without rest. Our organization will not let these poor souls endure such hell. Ages, we must look into this. It is a matter of great urgency.
Agreed, Monsieur Raymond. Could you enlighten us as to what makes you any different from the planters you condemn?
What exactly do you know, Monsieur Robespierre?
Do you not also exploit the labor of these poor souls yourself on your indigo plantation?
I fight every minute of every day to prove their condition. No one would have the audacity to deny this.
If that's the case, then why wait? Free them. You preach abolition, yet you continue to line your pocket at their expense. The truth is, you refuse to upend the established colonial order because your entire fortune depends on it.
It's easy to criticize from a mountain limbs like Maximilian. You know nothing of the realities of Saint-Amand. What would happen to all these people if I freed them tomorrow? Without an education, without a livelihood, I would be condemning them to the most abject misery. No. I must act with both compassion and realism.
Any reform, revolutionary or not, must be taken step by step, with moderation and prudence. This reform is not so difficult. I've organized myself at La Gabrielle plantation in Guyane. There you will not find slaves, but workers who earn a weekly wage, and my plantation is no less profitable.
Yes, profit. Because that's the most important thing. Don't you see, the law of nature gives every man the right to cultivate his own land?
Monsieur, calm yourselves. I implore you. Now is no time to quarrel. What Monsieur Raymond has related to us is extremely worrying. We must find out more about this plot to create sleepless slaves as quickly as possible. Aegis, you're the only one who stands a chance of making it to the Hotel de Messiac alive.
Eh bien. You come bearing news, Monsieur Marat?
No, not yet.
I have it on good authority that he is in the quarries in Montmartre. He's the only person who could show you a way to reach the Bastille. Don't forget.
Were you present when the Estates General was dissolved?
Oui, madame. I had a front row seat. I witnessed what it cost to defy the crown. We laid bare before the king the abject misery of his subjects. It was more than he could suffer. So he had the people's representatives dispersed by means of bayonets. At least we only had to contend with soldiers made of flesh and blood, positively angelic compared to the machines that have swept through Paris.
Is your plan to arm the populace going as planned?
Oh, far from it, madame. The situation is hopeless. Even if they were armed and formed into battalions, the patriots would not be able to fight.
Why is that?
Most of the strategic points in the city are inaccessible. A strange illness strikes all who try. Yes, they are seized by an irrational fear, one so great that those who do not lose consciousness go mad or perish on the spot. This makes it impossible to do anything. Any attempt at an uprising is a fool's errand.
The locations you mentioned share a common feature. A statue holding a lantern.
That's right. From what little I could make out, they appear to be depictions of a Vestal Virgin watching over the sacred fire.
Une lanterne des morts.
What do you mean, monsieur?
Lanterns of the dead. Ancient stone pillars that are found near some cemeteries. Our ancestors kept a fire going on top of them. Today, no one knows what they were used for. It's a symbol of light triumphing over darkness, perhaps. Others claim that human bones, mercury and lime, were burnt there. Some odious sorcery that was meant to entrap the tormented souls that wandered around the burial grounds.
That makes sense and confirms my observations. I'm now certain that the king's lanterns capture the animate essence of the dead who have been cast into purgatory. And that this essence is what allows the automats to stay in motion, without needing a key to wind them.
Pater noster qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum.
Now that I think about it, madame, you obviously are not subject to the harmful effects of these lanterns.
No, au contraire. When activated, these statues reveal an apparatus that allows me to repair myself.
It follows that if you destroy these lanterns, the people will be free to fight again.
Unfortunately, they are preternaturally strong. Nothing can so much as damage them.
If only Monsieur Lavoisier were with us, he would surely be able to solve this conundrum.
Goodbye, Monsieur de Robespierre. Monsieur de Mirabeau.
Have your efforts paid off?
Minister Necker claims that you are a familiar face at the Tuileries Palace.
That old story. Will it hound me until I have drawn my last breath? This, madame, is nothing but an unfounded rumor that I am trying in vain to dispel. To what do I owe the displeasure of having to defend myself once again?
I must get hold of some documents that are kept in an armored safe in the King's chambers.
What luck could resist your talents?
Minister Necker said it was indestructible.
Oh, I see. Well, let me think. Who could help you? After all, a lock is nothing more than a simple mechanism. Nothing that can resist the expertise of our dear Monsieur Bailly. Why don't you ask him for help?
I'll be sure to do so.
Now, who else might be of use? Oh, there's Monsieur Lavoisier as well, our gunpowder commissioner. If he were here, I'm sure he'd have no trouble finding you something you could use to blow the door off that stubborn safe.
Sadly, he's still at Luxembourg.
Then it is high time you rescued him, madam. Now, if you'll forgive me, I have an urgent matter to attend to.
You are forgiven for everything.
In that case, it has been a pleasure, madam.
Monsieur Bailly.
Ah, mademoiselle. I am very pleased to find you here with us within the shelter of these walls.
I found a document written in a script that I was unable to read.
Let me see. Ah, je vois. These pages were written using some sort of shorthand. A variation on Taylor's system, no doubt. I'm wont to use it myself from time to time while jotting down my ideas as they come.
What does it say?
It's a bit difficult to decipher. Je crois. I believe it's an autopsy report. The author writes that the subject died from a large dose of prussic acid.
What is prussic acid?
My apologies, Aegis, but I'm no chemist. You should ask Monsieur Lavoisier.
I'm looking for a way to force a lock. Monsieur de Mirabeau
But I'm an astronomer, mon enfant, not a locksmith. I know my way around lenses, filters, racks, and tripods. But I've never given a moment's thought to how a lock works. God, Monsieur de Mirabeau was joking with you, that's all. Où est-il, ce brave homme? So that we might ask him.
He has left. A matter that could not wait.
Excuse me? Do you mean he left the convent? That's madness. What was so important that he would put himself in such danger?
Intriguing indeed.